It's time for the most magical game show on earth. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and thank you for joining me for the 150th episode of Disney Jeopardy. I've spruced things up this week to honor the milestone of 150 episodes. Instead of the normal amount of 26 clues, I'm presenting you with 50 across not 5, but 7 different categories. And you know what? For old time's sake, here are the rules on your screen. If you want to cheat, go right ahead. I couldn't care less, so be my guest. Hope you read that fast. What is in store for you today? Well, let's find out by taking a look at the board and seeing what episode 150 is all about. Starting it off, it's a classic category before the song. Next up, it's We're Racing. Order Up is your third category. Your theme park category is your fourth one, and that is That Tracks. Your fifth category of the day, Disney Math. After that, it Sounds Like Villain. And finally, Brian's Fine Art. That's right, the beloved or extremely hated category of Brian's terrible drawings has been renamed Brian's Fine Art. I'll present you with 7 different images that I drew myself. You'll have to tell me the exact scene that I am attempting to recreate. And with that, it is now time for the easiest round of the game, the Cupcake round. Normally, these clues are worth 200 points, but not today because the board looks a little different. As you can tell, the first round will be worth 100 points each, and we'll eventually make our way to the dreaded 1000s. And the first category you'll be playing is before the song. I will read you a line from a Disney film that is said aloud right before an iconic Disney tune kicks in. You'll have to let me know what song is about to play. Let's begin episode 150. But what is dinner without a little music? Music? It is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure to let you know that the correct answer is Be Our Guest.
Of course, of course. But what is dinner without a little music? Music? Ma chère mademoiselle.
All right, we're moving on to We're Racing for the first time. In the opening race of 2006's Cars, Lightning McQueen earns a tie in a photo finish by sticking this out across the finish line. He gave us a little Air Jordan. The correct answer is his tongue. All right, we're moving on now to Order Up. In this category, I'll give you 3 different options, and you'll have to put them in the correct order that I ask you for. Here's the 100-pointer. Put these Disney princesses in age order from youngest to oldest at the start of their respective films. Ariel, Anna, and Aurora. Well, the correct answer goes in the reverse order that I read them in. Aurora is just a baby at the start of Sleeping Beauty. Then you've got little Anna, who gets shot to the heart by her sister Elsa with a ice ball. And then, of course, there's Ariel, who is a teenager.
Teenagers. They think they know everything.
All right, we're moving on to That Tracks now. I will show you an image of the tracks of one of your favorite Disney attractions. You have to tell me what ride it is. Here's your first one. All right, I will say Disneyland's version of this was actually better, but RIP doesn't exist anymore. The correct answer is the People Mover. All right, let's move on to Disney Math. I'm going to make you love math, Disnerds. That's my goal by the end of this episode. I will read you 2 different clues within one. You have to add them together, get the correct answer. Here we go. According to Genie, the number of years in a lamp that will give you a crick in the neck, plus the number of leagues under the sea based on a Disney film title. Well, let's find out what the 2 answers are so that we can add them together.
10,000 years This will give you such a crick in the neck.
You had 10,000 and 20,000, you get 30,000. So if math isn't your thing, perhaps music is. Everyone loves Disney tunes. I will play you the instrumental version of one of your favorite villain songs, or perhaps just a song that has to do with a villain. You'll have to name the villain the song is affiliated to. Here's your first one. Did you get it right? The correct answer is Captain Hook.
This is a boy who won't enjoy working for Captain Hook, the world's most famous crook.
Finally, Bryan's Terrible Drawings is about to come back to Disney Jeopardy. That's right, Bryan's Fine Art is here. I will show you a drawing that I did, I spent years on, and you have to tell me what scene and what movie I was recreating. Let's get started. No, I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just a screenshot from The Lion King? Thank you so much. It's not. I actually drew it with a pen. We had some color in, and oh yes, as you can see, that's clearly Simba looking at his reflection. Got his pal Rafiki right there. And of course, the OG king, Mufasa in the sky.
That's not my father. It's just my reflection.
Yes, all of these will be making their way to the Buddy Eclipse shop on DisneyJeopardy.com, beginning with this Lion King one. All right, we're moving on to the second round now. It's before the song again. So why don't you just ruminate whilst I illuminate the possibilities? Name the song. Spoken by one of Disney's most famous characters of all time, it was Genie who said that line, and he was leading into his hit song, Friend Like Moi.
So why don't you just ruminate whilst I illuminate the possibilities?
Here's the 200-pointer from We're Racing. The famed character of Herbie is a Beetle model vehicle built by this car manufacturer. Who makes the Beetle? Volkswagen. On to your second order up of the day. Order these title characters from most amount of screen time to least amount of screen time in their respective films. Aladdin, Peter Pan, Moana. Shout out to ScreenTimeCentral.com, who does a great job tracking your favorite Disney characters' screen times. Check them out if you're into that kind of thing. I sure am. The correct answer here, Peter Pan just had 16 minutes of screen time in his movie. Aladdin had 40, and Moana eclipsed an hour. 66 minutes for her. Here's your second clue from That Tracks. Name the ride. The old mine train through nature's wonderland is what once stood here. The correct answer is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Crack out the calculator, it's time for some Disney math. The birthday Rapunzel is set to celebrate Entangled, minus the number of years that went by during the MCU's blip. Okay, as we did before, let's find out what the two answers are, and then do the equation.
Mother, I'm turning 18, and I wanted to ask...
5 years ago, half of all life in the universe, including our own Midtown High, was wiped from existence.
You've got 18 and 5, do that kindergarten, first grade math, and you end up with 13. Time for Sounds Like Villain for 2. The answer is that cruel devil, Cruella de Vil.
That's it.
Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil.
We're on to the second clue from Bryan's Fine Art. Let me know if you like this one better than the first. What movie is this, and what scene is it depicting? The correct answer here, as we fade into the real movie, yep, looks exactly the same as when Flynn fought Maximus in Tangled.
You should know that this is the strangest thing I've ever done!
And just like that, the second round is complete. 5 rounds to go before Final Jeopardy. Let's keep on rolling. It's before the song for 400. He starred in movies, he had the coolest guitar, he could fly, and he wrote the best songs. But my all-time favorite, it's... Well, the character that this quote is talking about is Ernesto de la Cruz, Mexico's disgraced son. And his hit song was Remember Me.
He starred in movies. He had the coolest guitar. He could fly. And he wrote the best songs. But my all-time favorite, it's
Remember me.
Time for We're Racing for 400. This 2010 live-action Disney film starring Diane Lane follows the story of a horse who still holds the record for the fastest Kentucky Derby ran in horse racing history. Hey, you know what? Why stop at the Kentucky Derby? This thoroughbred held the record for fastest time at the Belmont Stakes, at the Preakness, all 3 legs of the Triple Crown. He won the Triple Crown. He's probably the most famous horse ever. Secretariat was his name and the name of the film. Here's Order Up for 400 points. Order these Pixar films from oldest to newest. WALL-E, Inside Out, Monsters U. WALL-E was our first one, coming out in 2008. That was followed by Monsters U, the beloved prequel from 2013, and then Inside Out graced the silver screen in 2015. Here's That Tracks for 4. Name the ride. Well, you can tell that it is not the hideous Tomorrowland Speedway from the Magic Kingdom that has pretty much no scenery and just makes a figure 8. Instead, it is the beautifully landscaped Autopia from Disneyland. Ooh, and look, there's the old People Mover track, R.I.P. Let's do some math for 400 points. The number of American Disney theme parks plus the number of international Disney theme parks. Well, the key word here is parks, not resorts. Here in the United States, we have 2 resorts, but we have 6 Disney theme parks. Overseas, you've got 6 as well. And there I am, accomplishing my greatest feat ever, visiting all 6 while wearing different Ranger jerseys back when times were better to be a Ranger fan. All right, the next category is Sounds Like Villain. So this villain didn't actually have his own villain song. Instead, he did Prince Ali in his own way. The correct answer is Jafar.
I tried to tell you, I'm just so Ali turns out to be merely a Latin.
The final clue of the 400s is a sight to behold. We start in black and white, and we slowly fade to color. Did you get it? Now, the answer is obviously when Princess Anna saved her beloved sister Elsa from being brutally murdered at the hands of Mr. Sideburns here. Now, let's look at the actual footage from the film, and yeah, I would say We're moving on to the 4th round. These are worth 5, and here's before the song. Down here is your home. Sebastian said it to Ariel, and he, of course, was talking about Under the Sea.
Down here is your home. Ariel, listen to me. The human world, it's a mess.
Here comes We're Racing for 5. Taffeta Mutton Fudge is a racer introduced in this Disney film. She's a part of Sugar Rush, which in turn is a part of Wreck-It Ralph.
Tap for the mutton fudge.
Stay sweet.
Let's move on to Order Up for the fourth time. Order these 3 live-action original Disney movies from oldest to newest. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Muppet Treasure Island. The animated Sorcerer's Apprentice, of course, goes all the way back to the Fantasia days of 1940, but that's not what I'm talking about here. No, I mentioned live-action original Disney movies. That's actually the newest. The oldest is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That came out in the 80s. The 90s belong to the Muppets and Muppet Treasure Island. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, starring Nicolas Cage, which I have not seen a second of, is your newest film. It is the halfway point of the game. Here's That Tracks for 5. You're about to cross the bridge on Indiana Jones out in Disneyland. Of course, it's normally a little darker, like you see right there. And Indiana Jones, the ride is coming to Animal Kingdom, getting set to kill off my boy Dinosaur in just a few weeks. I'm still upset about it. Here's Disney Math for 5. The name of the character Tina Fey voices in Soul, plus the number associated with the rolling droid introduced in The Force Awakens. Tina voiced Soul 22, as we see right here.
It is an honor having you prepare 22 for Earth.
I'm gonna make you wish you never died.
And then this little guy, yeah, you know his name, it's BB-8. So you add 22 and 8, you get 30.
I'll drop you to Panema time.
Let's move on to Sounds Like Villain for 5. Hello, Belle! I could have used the song Gaston here, since that obviously is dedicated to Gaston, but I love the mob song and I feel like it doesn't get enough love. Either way, Gaston sings a chunk of it, and he's your correct answer.
But we're not coming home till he's dead! Good and dead! To the beast!
Alright, let's move on to Brian's Fine Art. This one is dedicated to you old school Disney fans. Just like last time, we start off in black and white, and I fade into color to reveal the correct answer, which clearly is Pinocchio. We take a closer look. You see that the wooden boy is drinking beer. Oh my gosh. Cover your eyes. Not only that, he's playing billiards with a jack or donkey. Could go with donkey as well.
Conscience. Nah, phooey.
We're moving on to the 600s now. Let's go back across the board for Before the Song. Sometimes who we wish we were, what we wish we could do, it's just not meant to be. I mean, whether or not there's truth to that quote, arguably the worst speech given to a daughter from a mother in a Disney movie, Moana's mom said it to her before How Far I'll Go.
Sometimes, who we wish we were, what we wish we could do, it's just not meant to be.
I've been...
Luckily, after her mom gave that terrible advice, Moana went, talk to the hand. And then she started doing this thing. No? Hit? Maybe? Swing and a miss! We're moving on. It's We're Racing. Feel the blank. Feel the blank. Get on up. It's bobsled time. Fill in the blanks from 1993's Cool Runnings. Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's bobsled time.
Ding ding, order up is worth 6. Rank these Walt Disney World icons from tallest to shortest. Coming in first place is the legendary Cinderella Castle, topping out at 189 feet. just 3 yards taller than Spaceship Earth, the park icon that came later. And then the Tree of Life is in last place, just over 140 feet tall. Let's move on to That Tracks again. Without a question, the strangest end to an attraction in Disney history. The correct answer here is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Here comes Disney math again. The number of years old the Walt Disney Company turns in 2026, plus the number on the Cherry Tree Lane house, Mary Poppins, that the Banks family lives in. You might remember when I started this show in 2023, it was to honor the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. In 2024, it became 101, 2025, 102, and 2026, it turns 103. Second half of the clue gives you 17 for 17 Cherry Tree Lane, so your correct answer is 120. This sounds like Villain is worth 6. Just like the villain before him, Gaston, Ratcliffe had a few songs I could pick from, like Mine, 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 but instead, I went with Savages for the Governor.
We must stop the drums of war. They're savages.
All right, I didn't want to do this, but parental warning. The next image that I brought to life with my photorealism art skills can be a little tough to look at. Brace yourselves. What scene is this? Well, we go from black and white to color to reveal that those are trees at the end. On top of one of those trees seems to be some type of mischievous wildcat. Why is he smirking like that? Oh my goodness, is that blood? Yes, it is. And that's Tarzan. This, of course, is the scene when we discover that Tarzan's parents didn't make it. All right, we're winding down here. Last round before the 1000s. These are worth 8. Here's before the song. Well, little lady, let me elucidate here. Correct answer is Everybody Wants to Be a Cat.
Well, little lady, let me elucidate here. Everybody wants to be a cat.
Man, this cat is just so cool. Look at that hat. I gotta get me one of those. Then I'd look like bowler hat guy, so maybe not. 800-point clue for We're Racing goes like this. Appearing as a crew chief in Cars 3, this legendary race car is tied with Lightning McQueen for most Piston Cups in history. Yeah. For the new generation, Lightning McQueen might be the GOAT, but for us old school race fans, we know the King, Strip Weathers, is the best ever.
For over 20 years, Dynaco's golden boy, Strip Weathers, more commonly known as the King, has set the bar in racing.
Let's move on to Order Up for 8. Rank these defunct Disneyland resort attractions by closing date. You've got Rocket Rods, Skyway, Tower of Terror, and the Viewliner, Train of Tomorrow. And yes, I know the Tower of Terror is in California Adventure. That's why I said Disneyland Resort attractions. What closed most recently? Well, that would be the Tower of Terror when it got rebranded into Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2017. Before that, Rocket Rods came to a close at the start of the new millennium. The Skyway shut down at the end of last millennium. And the Viewliner Train of Tomorrow closed just a year after it opened in the late 1950s. Let's move on to That Tracks, the second to last time. That's an interesting shot. What are you riding? Blink and you'll miss it. This is a portion of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Lit Up. Once again, we're moving on to Disney math. The number of Walt Disney World monorail stations minus the number of Disneyland railroad stations. Okay, the Walt Disney World monorail, those Magic Kingdom, Contemporary, TTC, Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, and EPCOT. As for Disneyland, you've got 4 stations, so 6 minus 4 equals 2. Listen up for Sounds Like Villain. You heard it. What villain is it tied to? Answer is Mother Gothel.
Mother knows best. One way or another, something will go wrong, I swear.
Only 2 pieces of Bryan's fine art are yet to be seen, and just like I did last time, parental advisory for this upcoming image, but for a different reason. Oh my goodness, you know what? I should have censored this. I'm so, yeah, that might be better. No? All right, I'll let you see it. What is going on here? Okay, we had some color, and yeah, you guessed it. That's Elastigirl on the left. She's got the red hair, and she's using her elastic powers to stretch that arm all the way across to, whoa, okay. She's pinching him, and he seems to be enjoying it. Check out those massive shoulders and skinny skull. This, of course, is the Life's Incredible Again scene from The Incredibles. "42 clues are down and 8 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you know what time it is. It is time for the most dramatic soundtrack infused unnecessarily. How's the hair? Sorry. Spotlighted part of the game, the 1,000-point round. Hit it! This is the first 1,000-point round in history that adds up to more than 5,000 points. That's because there are 7 clues this week, so you've got 7,000 points up for grabs. Let's see if you can grab them all. First up, it's before the song. We've got a long way to go. I told you it was gonna be tough. It's one of my favorite songs in Disney history. The correct answer is Make a Man Out of You.
We've got a long way to go. Let's get down to business.
Let's finish off. We're racing for 1,000. This, based on a true story, 2003 Disney Channel original film, follows the tale of Courtney and Erica Enders, 2 sisters who make their names known in the sport of drag racing. Answer is right on track.
Based on a true story, Erica and Courtney Enders, sisters who changed the rules on a racetrack. Right on Track, opening Friday, March 21st at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
Your final clue from Order Up goes like this. Rank these 4 live-action Disney films from largest to smallest gap between their releases and the release of their animated inspirations. Lady and the Tramp, 101 Dalmatians, Dumbo, and The Lion King. Well, believe it or not, 3 out of the 4 of these live-action films came out in the same year. That year was 2019. As we take a look at the different posters, Dumbo, Lady and the Tramp, and The Lion King all came out that same year. 101 Dalmatians came out in '96. But what about the gaps? Well, Dumbo was the biggest gap. The original came out in '41, meaning there were 78 years between the 2 films. Lady and the Tramp came out in '55. That's 64 years before the remake. Lion King came out in '94. 25 years later, we got the remake. But 101 Dalmatians, which came out in '61, got its remake in '96. Yes, not talking about Cruella, I'm talking about 101 Dalmatians. That's 35 years. Here's your final clue from That Tracks. Name the ride. That, sadly, is an attraction that no longer exists, and boy, do I wish it did. The correct answer is the Fort Wilderness Railroad, that's right, before you only had the option to take buses around the resort down at Walt Disney World, you could take a train. And there are remnants of the train still at the resort, so if you're a crazy person like I am, you might walk around the resort and look for the railroad ties that are still in the ground. Look how cool this attraction was. It didn't last long, which is such a shame. Here's Disney math for 1,000. Bruno's height in feet, according to We Don't Talk About Bruno, plus the number of brothers who pretended Hans was invisible. You'll need to know the lyrics to We Don't Talk About Bruno for the first half of this clue.
Do you understand?
So you've got 7 there. What about the brothers that told Hans he was invisible?
Okay, wait. So you have how many brothers?
12 older brothers. 3 of them pretended I was invisible.
7 plus 3 is 10. Here comes your final sounds like villain. Is it just me, or does that sound almost exactly like the theme to Robert Pattinson's Batman movies? They just take it from the great mouse detective. That leads us to the correct answer, which is Ratigan.
But it hasn't all been champagne and caviar. I've had my share of adversity.
Oh, Ratigan! Oh, Ratigan! Your tops and that's...
I think Ratigan's the only character to play the harp in his villain song. Correct me if I'm wrong. Here comes your final clue on the board. It's Brian's fine art. If you're a fan of Disney Jeopardy, I've talked about this scene a bunch, it being my favorite scene from my favorite Disney film. That film is Zootopia, and the scene is the velvety pipes of Jerry Walt.
Polar bear fur.
Oh my God.
What?
The velvety pipes of Jerry Vole.
I've also got the polar bears in there. I've got Mr. Big's fine glasses, and even Nick's tie.
Oh, Raymond. And is that Kevin? Long time no see.
And the board is cleared. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in to 1 or 150 episodes of Disney Jeopardy. You guys are the very best. Club DJ members couldn't do this without you, of course. Your Club DJ poll is returning tonight, so make sure you go vote to determine one of the categories in episode 151. I love doing Disney Jeopardy. I'm going to keep the train rolling along the track. And normally I spin a wheel to determine what Final Jeopardy is all about. But I'm not doing it this week because I did it last week. And I didn't give Dumbo his category. So instead, we're doubling up on Dumbo. So make your wagers based on your knowledge of that legendary movie. All right, here we go. The final clue in episode 150, where I want you to wager all of your points, try to double it, and record your high score. It comes from Dumbo, and it goes like this. When Timothy Q. Mouse first sees Dumbo, the charismatic rodent is eating this. Good luck. And time is up. The final image from Brian's fine art, I had to include my favorite Disney movie ever, that being Zootopia. So it's only apropos that in Final Jeopardy, I included my favorite Disney character of all time, that being Timothy Q. Mouse. What was he eating when he first saw Dumbo? Correct answer is peanuts.
A guy can't eat in peace. Gab. Always gossiping.
Girls! Him with those ears that only a mother could love.
What's the matter with his ears? I don't see nothing wrong with him.
And that does it for the 150th episode of Disney Jeopardy. Thank you so very much for watching Bunny Eclipse. Are you bored? The executive producer of Disney Jeopardy, Bunny Eclipse, says thank you as well. Club DJ members, you voted last week in this poll, and you all are haters. you're all anti-love because So This Is Not Love won the poll, which means we move on to the second Club DJ poll for episode 151. Which of these three will make it into the show as well? The decision is in your hands. And by the way, Disney Jeopardy Pets returns in episode 151, so be sure to keep sending me images of your pets and sidekicks watching Disney Jeopardy to see them featured down the road. Bunny, how you doing? You good? Are you mad at me for wearing an Aristocats jacket today? I know. So it's kind of disrespectful, right? Kind of act more like a cat than a dog, though. Arista dog doesn't work. Anyway, gotta get a dog jacket, I guess. Now, you know the deal. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe. Click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way, you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. This is the one and only Bunny Eclipse, and she is about to get a snack or a bone or a treat. One of the three. You're getting one of the three. You excited about that? Yeah, I'm excited about it too. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll catch you next time for episode 151 when we finally go back to 26 clues. Till then.
Bye-bye.